recording there. Are you okay? You having trouble?
I don't know. I'm all screwed up. Okay, hit it.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Tina and Anderson Show. We're in episode, I think we're in episode 20 now. We're in episode 20. And today, it's going to be a little bit different. Might not be as long as an episode as previous ones. Because we got no videos to react to.
Yeah.
There was this video that we wanted to react to. It was like a news from Fox News about why women are like not dating anymore or not pursuing men or something like that. And I was trying to find it and I couldn't find it.
I'll have to look for it. I'm the one that shared a picture with them, and now we can't find it.
Yeah, I was trying to find the video for us to react to and talk about it, but it's fine. But I just want to thank you guys who have been following us on Instagram and TikTok. And man, we have some videos that we put on TikTok, some clips that have definitely caused a lot of conversations and definitely a lot of hate. You know,
the haters are always louder.
Yeah,
they're always louder.
They just, they disagree. They disagree, which is okay.
I think it's fine to disagree, but the problem is that they hate that we don't agree with them, and it's like, why can't we just agree to disagree?
Well, they think they think the way we perceive marriage and divorce is twisted.
Yep.
So
we're the twisted ones.
We're for marriage. We're not for divorce. We're for working on your marriage. Divorce is like the last resort, like the very, very, very last. Like so last that it shouldn't even be like a choice, like that last. And people are just like, what?
I'm like, what?
And
but if we're not happy, okay, well, if you're not happy, why aren't you exploring other things and figuring out why you're not happy and then fix it?
Well, you think of it back in the day, there used to be like TV repairmen. People would repair your TV, your watch. They would repair, even small appliances. There were people that would repair things like that. And nowadays, your TV is not working right, you go get another one.
Yeah, something happens
Nobody
to your
repairs
TV,
it.
Go get another one.
Same thing with, hold on. It's my dad calling. I haven't talked to him for a second. Oh, hold on. Hello, pai. Hey, tô bem. Você me ligou no meio de gravando aqui. Eu te ligo. Olha, eu sei, me perdoa, eu sei que... Não, mas eu tô te falando que perdoa, porque eu sei. Mas eu te ligo aqui em 30, 40 minutos. Ok, fala, tchau.
Okay, editing.
Back to the episode.
You're gonna have to edit.
Okay, so where were we? Yeah, so they just take our we believe in like obviously working on your marriage, divorce is last resort, things like that.
Apparently, we're crazy.
Yeah, people just like I was saying, the TV, like people don't repair their TVs, people don't repair their small appliances.
Everybody wants instant.
They just get a new one. I know TVs are different than it was back then. I know you got that argument, but I'm just trying to make a comparison here.
Yeah.
That
so like if something needs to be fixed, if it can't be instant, then you're not going to fix it.
Yeah.
That's just how society is now. You just replace it. You get rid of it and you replace it.
Yeah. People don't feel like it's worth fixing your marriage anymore. It's worth fixing your car. That'll end up in a junkyard and rot away,
Yeah.
but
No,
they won't fix your marriage.
It's really sad to see a lot of people's views on marriage and how lightly a lot of people take it, and how lightly a lot of people take divorce, especially if you have kids.
Yeah.
Because the statistics are not on your side when it comes to children of divorce. So you should want to do anything and everything before divorce is even in the picture to fix
Yeah.
or to address whatever needs to be addressed. And it's just, it's, you know, it's sad because it's they're both taken so lightly now, you know, like
It is.
and then for a little bit there, it was like trendy to be like in your 40s and divorced, like because like social media,
I feel like it is still.
it still is, like social media like glamorizes it, you know.
Yeah.
Remember that social media is not real life.
No.
You can portray whatever you want to portray on social media. It's
Yeah.
way too easy. So
Right. Yeah, no, I agree 100%. So we're going to get into this article. It's couples who make it through tough times share these 8 facts. So we're going to go through them, and then we're just going to discuss what we feel about them.
So couples
If we
that
agree,
have
disagree.
made it through
I mean, we
times,
made it through
okay.
tough times. So we might relate to some of these. So let me see if this works. I'm trying something new. My
Here it
iPhone
comes.
screen is going to show up. There's my
There it
iPhone.
is.
All right, this article is on my iPhone. I'm like controlling my iPhone from my computer. So there's my cursor right there, so I can move it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
I'm
now
supposed to be able to move it.
move what?
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Oh, there we are.
So yeah. So there you go. 8
Can
couples.
you read that?
Yeah, I can read it. Yeah, I can read it from here. It's on our TV screen right here, guys. So it's it's on my computer screen right here also, but the screen is smaller.
Oh, my glasses are
Even the
disgusting. I
TV
can't even see with my glasses.
TV is
on.
about 4 feet away, but I can. It's obviously a bigger screen. I can read it.
Okay, that's all you then, hun, because I can't see it without my glasses.
Oh, what did I just do?
Oh no, you pressed something. Oh no, we had
Guys,
it.
this is just how it is
This
here. The
it,
Tina
you
and
got
Anderson
it.
show.
You got it.
So I'm not using my Stream Deck, so I think that's what's going on with just using the computer. All right, so it's easier for couples to get along. Let me just try to see if I can do this. Okay. All right, it's easier for couples to get along, right, when it's running smoothly. During tough times, holding on to harmony becomes more difficult. It does. It definitely does become more difficult. I mean, obviously, when things are easier, I mean, everybody's happy. Bills are paid.
Yeah, everybody's in a good mood.
No appliances broken.
It's like especially
The
when it's
plumbing's working.
when it's like financial. If you're going through financial stuff and whatever you're going through financially is going to affect your bills, it's going to affect your mortgage.
Right.
There's really, really, really big things on the line when finances come into play, and that is your stressor, is finances, and that can really do a number on your
Finance
marriage.
has been a big stressor in our lives.
Well, yeah, you
even when I started making good money, it was still a stressor.
yeah.
So it's like it just shows it doesn't matter how much money you make.
Well, it's like you're so stressed out, you forget to treat each other with respect and love, because the stress like takes over.
Yeah. Then the blame comes. Then there's the blame game.
You react. You do a lot of reacting, and it's just negative.
Right.
So.
It is. So psychologists say stressful events or even crises such as job loss, death in the family, or difficult parenting issues aren't likely. Oh, sorry, guys.
You're all over the place with
This
the cursor.
this is the first time me doing this. So aren't likely to single-handedly break up a strong. Here's that word. Partnership. Here's the word that we don't like. Partnership.
It's not a partnership.
Because it's a marriage. It's a union. Anyways, moving on. Couples can get through tough times with their relationships intact, but it helps if they're flexible, empathetic, team oriented. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even though we don't like the word partnership, we do feel like we can be a team because there are hierarchies in the team. Look, I'm not saying I'm like when I mean like there's different positions in the team, right? There's things she does that I don't do. There's things I do she don't do. There's things she does better than me and things I do better than her. It's just that's how we try to portray our marriage, and because of that, we both bring a strength to the marriage, and that definitely helps the marriage. I'm not trying to do what she does. That she can do better, and she's not trying to do what I do that I can do better in the in the word of equality. You know what I mean? Because it just doesn't work that way. We're not built that way.
You're always supposed to have like your spouse's best interest at heart, so and then when things get stressful, that just like goes, because what's if front and center is the fact that you're stressed out,
Right.
and not only are you stressed out, but the other spouse is stressed out too.
Right.
So now you're both stressed out, and like you're forgetting to think of the other person too. So then like selfishness comes into play, and you don't even mean for it to come into
Right.
play, but your focus is that you're stressed out, and that's totally overwhelming you.
Right.
So,
Right.
Especially with like something as serious, like they were saying, as like a death in the family. If you talk about like the loss of a job, then like financial comes into that too.
Yeah. Yep.
And that like those are all just like huge things that can just eat up your marriage if you're not focused also on your marriage.
Right.
Right.
Right. No, I agree with you on that. All right. So it says here, number one is they accept each other. That's number one. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Where's it going? It's like taking off the page.
I'm trying to scroll.
Maybe you're using the wrong thing to scroll.
Yeah. We're like two old people here
trying to figure out technology.
See, I was trying to scroll down. I'm doing the same thing. And they were up too fast.
Oh.
Guys, we don't really know.
Oh my God. If our kids watch this, would be like, what the?
I know. I'm wondering if I can control this on my phone. See, now it's telling me to connect.
Hang with us, guys. We'll figure it out. This is like the first time.
Yeah. I mean, if it doesn't work, if I can't get a hold of this, then we're just gonna have to do it with me looking at my phone. So it's connecting again. Okay, so see, I can't do it from my phone because then it won't. All right, I'm gonna connect it one more time and then we'll try it. And if it's still acting,
I think you just need to go real slow when you're doing the scrolling.
Yeah, probably. All right, so let's try this one more time, guys. Let's scroll back up to number one. Because I mean, I think this is a really cool way to show you guys stuff on the phone. So, okay, so here we go. So let's go back to number one. Okay, so they accept each other, right? So, see? Yeah.
What?
I was trying to.
You're doing it the wrong way.
No, Tina, look. So, see, I do this, right?
Yeah. 2 fingers?
Still doesn't. Yeah, guys, we're gonna have to abort it this way.
Oh.
Yeah, see, I'm not even doing anything.
You're not even touching it.
Yeah.
It's like freaking out. Oh, man.
All right, guys, we're gonna have to abort this. I apologize, guys. This isn't working the way I wanted it to. All right, so we're just going right off my phone here. If I had time, I would put it on I'll put it on the screen from post editing, but it's not gonna work. All right, so let's go. All right, so number one, it says, where did I go from here? Okay, I went all the way down to something that's totally a different article. Okay, so they accept each other. All right, that's the one of the one traits. Um, yeah, one of the 8 traits, right? So it says here, research suggests that the most important ingredient in sustaining a long-term relationship, it's emotional accessibility or availability. So this can show up in many ways. So it says, I think one of the things you can say is, it says here, will you be there for me when I need you? I think that's very important if we're there for each other. Like if you were going through a tough time, like say, when your father passed away and you were just having a hard time and you just couldn't deal with the kids for a moment and you're like, I need you right now. I need you to help me, or I need a hug, or can you just be empathetic to the way I'm feeling? Like if I wasn't there, I think that would be hard.
Mm-hmm.
You look confused, like you don't understand what's
Well,
going
I'm
on.
trying to. Okay, they accept each other.
Okay, they accept each other.
Yeah.
And one of the things this is here, one of the things it was saying, um, this can show up in many ways, and
Mm-hmm.
but it's the answer to the question, will you be there for me when I need you?
Okay.
That's saying they accept each other. So obviously I accept you if I'm there for you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and you accept me if you're there for me.
Right. And also, I mean, like it's hard because, like I've said before, that like your spouse shouldn't. You don't expect your spouse to be a mind reader, but also you should be paying attention. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like a slippery slope because like you're going to be mad all the time if you think your spouse is going to like be reading your mind.
Right.
Like he's going to know what you need, he's going to know what you're thinking, he's going to know what you want to do. Like that's not going to happen.
No.
And like but then but on the other side of that, like you should be paying attention to your spouse where, like after my dad passed away and I'm having a day, like maybe he should kind of see that something doesn't,
Right.
something's amiss here. She seems to be having a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like at the same time, I can also say to him to make things easier, like had a really bad day
Right.
today. Like I'm not doing good today.
Yeah.
Like at the same time. So like I've touched on that before where like we're not mind readers, but at the same time you should also be paying attention. So like if something is visibly wrong, you'll notice it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. So it says here, put another way, couples able to weather tough times together tend to have established emotional safety. I just like these terms. Emotional safety, emotional intelligence. What I think he's trying to say is that you can feel safe being vulnerable,
Right.
and I can feel safe
Like
being vulnerable.
actually feeling your
Right.
emotions and expressing
Yeah.
them to you, and that you'll be there for me while expressing them.
Right.
You know.
Like if I was angry that if I was angry about something where I don't know, just something something valid. Let's just say I lost my job and I was angry about it. That you can understand why I'm angry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's giving each other grace too.
Right.
Like giving grace and being understanding.
Right.
And just like also like feeling the room, like reading the room. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like like when guys come home from work and they're all stressed out and you like jump on them about, I don't know, you didn't put your laundry in the laundry basket last night. It's just like, read the room.
Right.
He's tired.
Right.
You're tired.
We're all tired.
We're all tired. Like just
Yeah.
read the room and don't pick every fight. Pick your battles, like they always say.
Right. All right. So number 2 is they know themselves. So the way people react to stress differs greatly. and has a lot to do with their upbringing. So I think is that we should know how we deal with stress. Like if there's something stressful that's going on and you need to, and there's, you're, I don't know, you're folding laundry angrily. I don't know. I'm just bringing
I'm
something
folding
up.
angrily angrily.
I was just like, all right, this is how Tina needs to handle her stress. This is how she needs to handle it. I'm just going to leave her alone. I'm not going to interrupt her. I'm not going to try to stop her because this is what she needs to do. Obviously, if it's not self-destructing, if it's just, if that's how she deals with it, that's how she deals with it. I'm just going to let her deal
like
with it.
most married couples, like, I mean, like we've said before, you never stop learning about each other.
Right.
So like clearly over time, what triggers this person.
Right.
What they do in this kind of situation and then how they like to handle this kind of situation. And, like married couples tend to, like, when they get frustrated with each other, they want to press those buttons.
Yeah.
And, instead of staying away from those buttons. Like, I don't want to make this fight worse, so I'm going to stay. I know what triggers him, and I'm not going to do it.
Right.
I'm not going to make this worse. But, like, when you're mad and you know what's going to, like, really dig the other person, like...
Right. Yeah, you can't.
You just go for it.
You can't feed the fuel.
Yeah, you're literally like feeding the fire.
Right. It also says here, if the person you love is distant, it can bring up about kind of panic. So the same panic that a child feels when a mother, father, or caregiver is nowhere to be found. So if I'm like angry or upset about something, I can't just feel distant. I gotta like let her know, look, I'm not angry at you. Just angry about this situation that's going on. I'm frustrated about this situation, and it's not you. You didn't do anything.
Yeah,
that's one of the things. A lot of because guys, I think we talked about this part in the first few episodes, but guys, a lot of times when we're mad about something, like our wives need to be reassured. They need to know it's not about them. We're not mad at them. They didn't do anything. We're just mad at the situation. Like if she asked me to put up some shelves and it's being a pain in the butt and I'm like yelling and kicking stuff, I have to be like, look, I'm not mad at you. Just mad at these shelves. They're supposed to go in the way. They're supposed to go in easier. It's not you. Because she's going to feel bad. Like, oh, I made him put up these shelves and look what he's going through. Like, it's not you. It's these shelves. So you just got to reassure them.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, like if something's going down and you become distant or like you're not, you take off, you leave. It's so true. Like panic, like comes over.
Right.
Like I'll start to think like this is way bigger than I thought it was. Like now I don't know what he's thinking or what he wants to do. And like, now I'm here and I have no answers. You feel like you're like hovering. Right. You feel like you're like hovering in the air.
Yeah.
And you're like, so like that's how.
Yeah, it's not good to be distant. It's not good to not know how your spouse is feeling or what they're going through. You want to know. You should let your spouse know what you're feeling, what you're going through.
Communicate.
Or if you just need some time. You could be like, look, I'm just not ready to talk about it right now. I will talk about it with you, just not right now. I just need some time. Because that's letting your spouse know, all right, he or she's not going to keep anything from me. He's going to end up telling me he just needs time, but he will tell me.
That like,
and you got to follow up with that.
Yeah, that was like a game changer.
Follow through.
That was like a game changer. Like, because you would tend to be like, I'm stressed out. I need to leave. Whether it just be you go in the bedroom, you go for a walk or whatever, that I'm sitting here just like stewing in my anxiety, but like, if you feel like you need a walk, cool. But like you communicate like, listen, I need a second. I'll be right back.
Right.
We will talk about this.
Right.
It's that reassurance. It like game changer.
Right. Yeah.
Now when you come back, I'm not all stressed out because I've been stewing in my anxiety the whole time.
Right.
Like, say, if you went for a walk or something, you needed to, just take a second. Like, that whole time, we're stewing.
Right.
So like that's not healthy. That's
No.
not good. And that's when you readdress the situation, all of that is going to come out.
Yeah.
Like, bleh.
Yeah.
It's all going to come out.
Yeah. All right. So number 4 is they communicate compassionately and fairly.
Okay,
So
what's
men
that
are
mean?
men are all about fixing things. It says here, but sometimes you can fix it and just need to be emotionally present. You can't fix it. I'm sorry. You can't fix it and just need to be emotionally present for your spouse. It says partner, but I'm going to say
Partner.
spouse. A related habit is the ability or inability for most men to emphasize. So very few couples know how to do this, but all couples can learn. So I know there are times you're frustrated with something, and I know I come up with like solutions, but I just try to like just be there and just try to be like, hey, it's gonna be okay. I know it's frustrating. Like if I like guys, you can't if your wife is pissed off about something or she's just frustrated about something, you can't just hurl out all these solutions. What about this? Why don't you do this? What about this? They don't like that. They just want to, I guess, feel heard.
Yeah.
You know?
Most of the time we just want to vent.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know if this is like the same with a lot of other women. I hate generic responses. Like you being like, we'll be fine. Like, we'll figure it out. Like, I also hate those kind of answers. So it's like, I don't necessarily need you to fix it for me in that moment.
Right.
But yeah, sure. Like, I just want to be heard, but I also don't want to hear blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Like, I feel shoved off. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just trying to shove it aside.
So what you got to do is
yeah. So it's like, I don't know, there's got to be a happy medium somewhere in there
Yeah.
because that drives me nuts. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not an answer. That's not a solution. That's literally
we've always
nothing.
been fine.
Yeah. No.
So we'll be fine. And then what? We end up being fine.
And then you'll say, in a year, we'll look back on this day.
And it always
then it
happens.
always
It
comes
always
true.
happens. Remember when we said we'll be in our house and we're gonna look back and we'll be like, man, remember when
Remember
we were renting?
when we
Remember when we lived
couldn't
in
get a
this
house?
place? Yeah. So it always happens. All right, it says here, couples able to resolve conflict in a healthy way know there's a difference between having anger and acting out in anger. So you can be frustrated about something, but that doesn't mean you gotta like hurl insults at each other. And be like,
Yeah.
I'm just really angry that you did this. I just can't believe you did this. That makes me really angry. Not like, oh my God, you did this. You're such a jerk.
Yeah.
You know, that's something different.
That's like the pressing the buttons like
Yeah.
I was just talking about.
Yeah. It's like when you did that, that really hurt me and it really made me really angry. So you're telling them how you feel and what they did made you feel and be like, all right, I'm sorry. And it made me to make you angry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that was not my intention. But I think if you communicate that better, look, and it's good to be in conflict because that means you're resolving something.
Mm-hmm.
You're resolving the conflict. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had people on TikTok telling us that we're terrible people for telling couples that it's okay that you have a
okay to
fight.
fight.
It's okay.
It's okay to
You
argue.
just got to
It's
learn
okay
how to.
fight.
You just got to learn how to resolve it. There are people attacking us about it. Somebody stitched Tina, telling
Very
her-
angry.
telling her she's a terrible person for telling people it's okay if you have
Yeah.
a fight.
Yeah, it's how you fight.
Yeah.
You fight for resolution.
Yeah.
You don't argue and to hurt each other. Like that, cuz that solves nothing. But if both of you, your goal is to solve the problem, then that's how you're going to argue.
Right.
That's how you're going to hash it out.
And-
Instead of
right.
like you're only arguing so you can hurt the other person, and then we get to see who can hurt the other person the most.
Yeah, and
Like-
what you got to learn, what you got to learn is not to be defensive when your
Yeah.
spouse tells you that something you did made
Makes them
hurt them,
feel,
hurt
yeah.
them, or made them. You got to learn, because you continue. If you become defensive all the time, they're gonna like, I'm not gonna say anything anymore, because it says here, it's hard to implement. It's hard to implement if you don't feel emotionally safe. If you don't feel they'll hear or understand you, that will feed you into a cycle of more fearful interaction, such as avoiding or blaming. I believe that can grow into resentment, and that could just like fester into something worse.
Well, all of that just makes the situation worse
Yeah.
and literally solves nothing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you don't feel like you can tell your spouse how you're feeling or how something they did made you feel, and every time you do that, they have some sort of a defensive reaction,
Yeah.
or maybe they have like a negative reaction, like anger, or they storm off, then you're okay, you're never going to do that again,
Right.
so then so now we're never going to talk. I'm never going to tell you how I feel. You're never going to know unless you're reading my mind. Like, it's this big bad
Right.
cycle of
Yeah.
just like never going to solve a thing.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And then the D word comes up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Number 5, they work through problems collaboratively.
We collaborate.
It's a hard word for me. All right. Some students have noted that a willingness to sacrifice students. I think this was
Probably
a
at
study.
some college.
Yeah. I have noted that a willingness to sacrifice goes hand in hand with long-lasting marriages. I think that's true. I mean, look, when you get married and then when you have kids, your family. I mean, for most men, our families first. Like, real men know that your family comes first, and there's so many things we want to do, but we sacrifice it for our family. I just got my LTC. I would like to go to the gun range all the time, but I can't. I don't. So I gotta love mountain biking and kayaking. I would love to go every day if I wanted to, but I don't. And there are some weekends I don't even go.
Maybe when you're
Because I can't.
retired.
So there are things that, because there are things I got to do at home for the family. There are things I got to fix.
Yeah, you have to prioritize.
Or I gotta work. I gotta work so we can, pay some bills off, get this mortgage paid, or save for a vacation, put more in my retirement. There are some things I gotta sacrifice, and it's not easy. But I know there are things you sacrifice. I can't list them.
Yeah, we like give of ourselves,
Yeah.
like we give our time. Like for me, I'm like, I don't have a list of like hobbies that I have like you
Right.
do. That's my choice though.
Men have more hobbies than women.
Yeah, men need to like be outside, and I mean, I know a lot of women like to like go hiking, and maybe they like camping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just content in being home, taking care of this house, banging projects out.
Yeah.
I'm completely redoing a closet right now, like on top of everything else, just trying to keep up on the household, the kids. So it's like, I feel like when we're set, we give of ourselves,
Yeah.
So, and I don't have, the amount of time that people have said, well, Anderson does all this stuff. What about you? And I'm like, first off, do you think that I don't have a list of hobbies because he won't let me have a list of hobbies? Like, because that is very untrue.
No.
That is not how it is over here in the De Silva household. If I wanted hobbies, believe me, he'd be like, go,
Well, you
go
wanted.
do it.
You wanted to start staining stuff, and I got you a gun, which you didn't end up not liking, which is fine. But that was me being like, "Hey, I'll help you get a spray gun." But
Spray gun.
Yeah.
He says GUN, and they're gonna like take our video off.
demonetize it. Well,
Yeah.
we're not even monetized.
We're not even, but
All right,
but
so
yeah,
this
no,
is
it's like the hobbies.
But this one's a good one too. It says facing problems together as a we feels more powerful. So that's good, because if there's a problem and you handle it together instead of individually, the problem will be solved. No problem if you're doing it together. If you're doing it separately, it could get worse.
Well,
And then there
yeah.
could be resentment, or there could be a fight. Like, that's not how I wanted to deal with. That's how I want to do it. And then there's just conflict there. And then the problem is still there, or could get worse and not fixed.
Well, yeah, because you start, if you're trying to do it, you know, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. You're gonna eventually start blaming the other one for whatever.
Yeah.
You're gonna start wanting to point blame somewhere. Like, okay, we have this problem. You go handle that. I'll handle this over here. And then because we're doing it individually, we're going to be pointing the finger at the other person.
Right.
Like, oh, well, if you didn't do this, then this wouldn't have happened. And then you're going to be pointing at. But if we're trying to work it out together.
Yeah. And then it gets solved. It's a
Yes.
good feeling.
Yeah.
Then you feel like, wow, like we're a good team. Like, it's just like, it feels really good when you get something done together.
Yeah.
It just feels really good. Like, I think,
Accomplished.
yeah. I think look, when we did the garden, we kind of did it together, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it was like, you know, when we were done, we're like, look what we did. This is like pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, all right, number 6, they're committed to the relationship and put each other first. That is huge, because there's so many people, like we talked in our last podcast, you know, even if he's the good guy, if you're not happy, you're not putting him first. You're putting yourself first. You're not happy. Figure out why you're not happy.
A lot of women have a very big problem with you saying you should not be thinking of yourself first.
Yeah.
You should be thinking of, God first, then your spouse, then your kids. Your marriage comes before your kids. This is just the winning recipe.
Can you imagine if men were out here saying, you know, your happiness comes first. Your happiness comes first before your wife. Can you imagine the outrage?
Yeah.
The outrage would be insane.
Yeah.
So I don't think women should say that either.
No, hypocritical.
You know, you married somebody that you gave your heart to, and you want them to be happy because you love them. Why wouldn't you want to put them first? Especially if they're putting you first.
Well, see, that's the part that people miss. If you're putting him first, he's putting you first.
Yeah.
Both of you are going to be taken care of in every aspect, because the other person is making sure the welfare of the other person, you know, is always taken care of.
Right.
You know, so it's like your marriage and each other. And if your marriage is healthy, then you're going to have healthy children. It's just a healthy marriage just spills on top of the children.
Right.
And they get to watch a healthy marriage. They get to model a healthy marriage. They get to be part of a healthy marriage. Like,
there was a comment we had from somebody who said, for somebody who grew up, you know, in a household where parents were constantly fighting, I wish like it would have been better if they weren't married. Like, it's like statistically that person would have been worse off, because children have worse statistics when it comes to divorced parents.
Yeah.
But it's funny how, instead of her saying they shouldn't have stayed together, instead of that, why wouldn't somebody said, I wish my parents worked on their marriage more?
Right. I wish that their goal was to fix what was damaged, you know, and addressed it and spent time on it. Instead, it was, you know, I wish they were divorced.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I would never, you know, if I grew up with parents that were at each other's throat all the time, I wouldn't be like, they should have gotten divorced. I would be like, I wish they worked on their marriage more.
Yeah, I wish they spent more time focusing on each other in the marriage.
And nobody comes up with that solution anymore.
No.
It's like,
everyone's like, oh,
divorce.
there's a problem, get rid of it.
Yeah. It's like, maybe we should work on it.
It's crazy, though, because, I mean, we just watched a video that was, oh, he's the good guy, so he's not the problem, but I'm going to take what I am telling you is not the problem and I'm going to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I mean, make it make sense.
Yeah.
This is why men are so frustrated. We can be the good guy and you're still going to want to divorce us.
I mean, this
Like-
is one of the reasons why men are getting red pilled.
Yeah, very easily
There
red pilled.
there are men that do not want to get married at all, because to them it's like, I can work hard. I can give her everything she needs, everything she wants. I could be Prince Charming. I can be the best man she ever met. She'll still leave me,
She's still going to
and she'll take the kids. I'll have to pay child support, and she'll take half the assets.
And then she's going to put it on social media that you were the good guy, but she's still leaving you.
It's really. I mean, why? What man, knowing that if that's what marriage is, what man would want that?
Yeah.
All right. So number 7, they share core values. I think that's huge, especially in
big.
faith.
That's big.
Especially in faith, I think it would be hard for a Christian and a Muslim to be married, or a Christian and an atheist. I think if you have the same core values, believe in the same God, I think this day and age, it seems like politics would be a huge thing.
Well, because politics is in everything.
I mean, I think
now.
there are
so
some
how
people.
do you avoid it?
I think there are some people probably moderate. One's
but
moderate
even-
left,
even
moderate
if
right.
you're-
But I
even
think
if you're moderate, you still have your own
Yeah,
views
but I think
that
there are
aren't
some-
going to align.
right. I think there are some people who probably like,
whatever.
Oh, you believe in that? Oh,
Yeah.
I believe in that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. And they just like move on with their day, right?
Yeah,
But I think that's huge, especially with faith, because when it comes to your faith, then you have kids, then you have to decide what faith is our children going to follow. And people are like, oh, they can follow both. Well,
like, does that really
can't-
make sense though? Yeah.
but there are probably people that do that.
Yeah.
But then it's like it's confusion.
Yeah, it's
So I think-
confusing for the kids.
But I think that is very important, because if you have one core value in your family, and that is how you are raising your family through that core value, I think it definitely can help the family grow stronger, because everybody's on the same page.
If you don't have like the same core values, I just feel like there's going to be so much you have to dance around
Yeah.
with your own spouse. Like, I know there's people in my life that I know I can't talk about this with. Don't bring that up. You better dance around this issue and stay away from it. And I would hate if like my marriage was like that.
Right.
Like, we can't talk about this, we can't talk about that, can't bring that up.
Right.
Like, it just
Yeah, I mean,
so if you align on at least the core, the core values, then like
there was
branches
this
out,
famous clip from a show. I don't know if it was Love is Blind or 90 Day Fiance. It was one of those where she ended up like deciding not to marry him because his like political beliefs were different. And honestly, I think
it's a reality now.
right, and I think
it's a reality now.
right. I mean, he was like, "Well, maybe we should work it out," and it's like, bro, you don't want to deal with that. She's giving you an out. Take it. Take it. She's doing you a favor. I think
there's too many differences, and if you're talking about you're dating to find your husband or your wife, and like starting off dating, you're already that split, but on like major issues,
right?
How is that gonna work?
Well, one of the things it says here, the fact that two people pray together likely reflects they have done the work of reconciling the meaning of their own existence, an important task of human development. Basically, it's good to pray together.
Yes.
All right, number 8, last one, number 8. I know we're going over on time. No, I'm just kidding. We're not even going to hit an hour today. It's a shorter episode.
It's a shorter one.
That's okay.
Yeah.
The last one is they know it's okay if things aren't okay.
Yeah.
I think we've learned that just because we've been through so much stuff.
We've had to like sit in it.
Yeah.
Like, be like not okay and sit in it. And
Yeah.
know that at some point we will dig ourselves
Yeah.
out because we're gonna work together.
Oh, our house got our condo got foreclosed on. It's okay.
Now we have to sit in it, and we have to sit here knowing that there's nothing
That
we
was the
can do
hardest.
about it.
That was the hardest. Okay.
There's not there's been so many things that there was literally nothing. It was completely out of our hands.
Yeah.
And we had to literally sit in it and not point fingers at each other, not turn on each other, and just like remain a unit
Yeah.
together and like sit in that issue, the issue that we can do nothing about, and somehow get through it together.
Yeah.
Still married.
Yeah.
Like, you got to sit in it.
Yeah. I mean, when you're, marriage isn't like a fairy tale. I mean, it can be at the wedding, can be at the honeymoon,
The honeymoon stage.
but it throughout the, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 years or whatever that you're married, it's not all fairy tale. There's going to be some hard times. There's going to be some hardship. There's going to be some difficult decisions, and there's going to be things that are happening that are out of your hands, whether it's financially, health, family situations, tragedy. I mean, there are things that life is going to happen, and you're going to have to learn to stick together through it.
You're going to have to have the right person by your side.
And you have to just sit there and just be like, look, this is tough right now, but we're going to get through it. When we'll get through it, we don't know. How long is it going to take? We don't know, but we're going to get through it. It is just really one of those things. It's like when you're going through it together and you're not alone, that's what makes it better. Because if you're alone, it's a lot harder. I mean, if you're married and you're going through something alone, it's a lot harder. So I think if you're there for each other, you support each other, and you just talk about it, it's good to talk about it. And then dream together. Just dream like, hey, let's dream of a time when we're out of this and discuss it. We've done that all the time.
And then reflect back to remember when.
Yeah.
Like, remember when we were going through this, and now that's completely taken care of.
Yeah.
And that we solved that problem. Remember?
Yeah.
Remember when? Like, we do that
Yeah.
all the time.
Weird.
Because we have like a really big history together.
Yeah.
So we can go all the way back to middle school.
Yeah, I remember you're like, I remember you're like, man, I can't wait until the day comes when I don't need food stamps.
Yeah.
Or I don't have to go to the food bank.
And now we're like, remember when we used to live in low income housing, and we had to go to the food bank, the food pantry, food stamps, all of that stuff. Section 8. Well, not Section 8. What was that other thing that we got?
It was low income housing.
No, I'm talking about they were like tickets, and you could use them for food. I don't know. Anyways, that was when we had infants and we needed help with formula and baby food, and you gotta reflect back so you can be thankful for where you are now.
Yeah, it says here that no relationship is all smiles. Sometimes couples feel distant from one another. The problem isn't in the natural ups and downs of life with a spouse. It's when there isn't enough safety for things to be temporarily difficult. That's the problem. So yeah, if somebody enters a marriage and be like, one thing goes wrong, I'm out. Like, you have to be okay that something is not going to be good, and just know it's going to be temporary. Like, I always knew the situations we were in were temporary. It just sucked going through it.
It was hard.
It was terrible going through it. But I knew this isn't forever. We're going to get out of this. And it just stinks being in it right now. And I want to get out of it now, sooner rather than later. So you gotta go into your marriage. If you're a newlywed, you gotta go into your marriage to know, even if things are great, you're happy, you're both really healthy, you both bought the house that you want, you both have a beautiful, nice cars, great careers, making a great income. even though all those things come to you when you're brand new newlyweds, you gotta know something's gonna hit the fan along the way, and we gotta be ready to handle it.
Yeah. You have to
because
have like your armor.
every marriage
surrounding your marriage.
is attacked. Every marriage gets attacked. You know why? Because the enemy, the devil, does not like marriage. Because marriage is very strong. A strong marriage, especially a marriage in Christ, is very strong, and it's a threat to the enemy. So he's going to do whatever it takes, whether it's a coworker flirting with you, or if it's a racy magazine that he's looking at, or if it's when you are into a fight, when you're in a fight, here comes along the person that's the opposite sex coming to be like, oh, it's okay, everything's fine.
I'm there for you.
Or when your spouse gets a little overweight and then somebody who's a little thinner wants to get your attention, things like that.
Yeah, the devil uses all these
So
kinds
you have
of
to stay
tactics.
focused. You have to stay focused. This is the person that I chose to be with. This is the person that I have vows with. This is the only person. No other person will enter this marriage. The only person that enters this marriage is Jesus. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No other person.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to keep focused on that mindset and just know I'm with this person for the long haul because that's what I vowed to do, right? And because of that, you continue to look at this person as the only person, and it's really hard to fall out of love with a person when you only keep your focus on them. Because people are like, oh, I fell out of love. It's not you. You're a good guy. I just fell out of love. Well, you stopped focusing on him. You started looking elsewhere. And that's what happened. I don't care. They can deny it, but it's true. Yeah, I mean, when you make vows with somebody and you fall in love with this person and you're married to them, you're with them every day, you're having a life with them, and then all of a sudden you just fall out of love. No, you started looking somewhere else. And you started having this idea in your head of what you wanted, how you wanted your spouse to be, and they're not fitting that mold as they get older. And then you start looking somewhere else. I'm like, hey, that person's fitting the mold. My husband doesn't fit that mold anymore. So I'm falling out of love.
Yeah.
It's a terrible thing. So you gotta focus focus on that one person.
It's like an avalanche. It
Yeah.
just gets worse and worse and worse. But going back to like being like making sure that like it's safe for things to not be okay. Like if every time when a stressful situation happens, your spouse leaves and like goes and sleeps at his friend's house, then she's gonna feel like every time something stressful happens or something big happens, this is gonna happen. Like you're gonna leave. We're not gonna solve it.
Right.
Like you're not gonna feel good about the future of your marriage. So it's all in how you react that shows the other person, that like we can be in hard times and it doesn't mean I'm going to leave you. Like, there's probably people in your life that that if you ever got into a fight with them, that would probably be the last time you saw them. Because like that relationship isn't strong enough
Right.
to get past that fight. So you don't fight with that person. You just agree with everything they say and just nod and just say yes and okay, cool. But
Terrible.
People have people like that in their life that they're like, I do not feel like I could get into an argument with that person or that friend or that coworker and like the next day we would be totally cool. Like I feel like they would never talk to me again.
Right.
So like that's like the safety that like this part of the article is talking about, that it's all how you like react when you're in hard times. It should be showing the other person that like everything's going to be okay. Even though this is hard right now, like everything's going to be okay.
Yeah. And I always had that attitude, and I didn't know if it was going to be okay.
No, see, that's why
But I
I'm
needed
saying
to reassure her. You know what I mean?
early on in the video how I was saying I hate how when you say like it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well,
Like it just ended up
Yeah.
being so generic and like there was no meaning behind it anymore.
Yeah.
Because he would say like everything will be okay. And then like I mean maybe like 3 months down the line everything was okay, but like no, things were not okay for like a long time, you know? So like it's things start to sound very generic with like no meaning behind it.
Yeah.
You know, if you like keep repeating those, everything will be fine.
Right.
We're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Like, okay,
Because it
no,
is.
I really
It always ended up being fine.
yeah, but you were even saying like I didn't even believe it. But he was just trying to be reassuring for
Right.
me because I am the one. If anybody's gonna panic, it's gonna be me.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Well, I
me.
panic. I just don't show it.
Yep. Maybe that's when you went on the walk.
Yeah. But all right, guys, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Tina and Anderson Show. Make sure to follow us on our joint Instagram account, all right, and our separate ones, and on TikTok. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like the video. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.